crazy controlled. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Been a nice long season for the American Dirt Series Sprint Cars, and tonight it's the season finale coming from Limaland Motorsports Park here in beautiful state of Ohio. Good evening, I'm Justin Prince, and welcome to RaceSpotTV's coverage of tonight's dirt racing action on this quarter-mile circuit. Davis Richards joins me in the broadcast booth. Hugo Ruiz will be controlling the cameras, as well as the main provider of your TV cameras. Tonight is going to be surely an exciting night of racing. 50 laps, all set to go around this very tight and very small circuit, and one of the newest parts of the iRacing service. This should be a fun one for the season finale, that is for sure, Davis.
Oh yeah, Justin, it really is. We're going to see a lot of drivers out here tonight. They're going to be utilizing that cushion here, and it's going to be a really crazy race.
Should be a crazy race. You see them all along the cushion in practice as the lap times are fast and furious. The lap time's currently in 11.8 seconds right now for practice. Blistering fast here for practice. We're a few moments away from the start of qualifying for what should be some fun action. Before we get going, our broadcast tonight is presented once again by Southern Indiana Lawn Care, Dirt Co. Media House, along with the Kings of Dirt, CMF Motors Electrics, Downer Graphics, Shalom Forestry, and B-Dirt 1934. But with that, Anthony Lopresto is up at the top of the practice boards coming into qualifying with Alex Bergeron nipping at his heels. We'll see how drivers take their qualifying. We'll see how they do. It is a very deep field for tonight as we're just about set to go here for qualifying here, Davis.
Yeah, we really are. We've got a lot of fast drivers here tonight. Oh, wow, we got a special guest that's just joined the ranks. That's the number 17 machine of Howard Weaver. So added to the mix of Alex Bergeron, Cole Newhoffen, Jason Newgarden, and Terry Rennert. There's going to be a lot of fast drivers out there tonight, and it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out.
Very interesting. You're seeing the view of Rocky Battenfield on your screen. He's trying to put in some good laps, blending with the VLR squad once again. You can see him trying to cut down the corner on the bottom as you look at your lap time so far, using the middle line for his qualifying attempt. Let's see how it works out for him. Crosses the flag stand. He qualifies 7th for at least the time being. As a few more drivers coming out, Max Denbrough, Paul Belfour, some of the drivers, Trevor Royer also on the circuit, as Anthony Lopresto is also starting to put in his first lap time, heading towards the front straightaway right about now, as you see him move immediately up to 3rd, zooming along that cushion. Let's see if he can improve on that time, going up the track, trying to cut a little bit on the corner, passes the flag stand, and it improves him enough to get him to still 4th, because Cole Newhoffen at the same time moves up to the pole with an 11.841. For the time being, Jeffrey Patterson currently in 2nd. He finishes his 2nd lap time. And what is a good circuit for sure to take part of. You're seeing a lot of drivers already putting in some decent lap times for qualifying. The only drivers not putting in times right now is Alex Bergeron and our good old friend Howard Weaver.
Yeah, we got a lot of fast times and really competitive times out there. That number 38 machine, Timothy Smith, just sat on the pole with 11.784. But we've got 2 other drivers left to run out tonight. That's going to be the 112 of Alex Bergeron and the number 17 of Howard Weaver. But if you look at the screen right now, we have the number 112 on the track right now. He just hit the wall, got above that cushion. He's going to get another lap left to reset it and try again. Going to have to see if he can get a competitive lap time out there, if he's going to have to start at the back for this feature.
And he turned it around in a unique way just off the edge of your screen. He went backwards, then flipped it around through turn 1. He has to try and get himself a good time. This will be his only recorded time for your current points leader. He comes down the front stretch. Not fast enough for the pole, but at least fast enough for the top 10. As he moves into 7th spot, Howard Weaver's the only driver in the 17-car grid right now to not record a time so far here on this circuit. As you see, the top 15 being split by just 0.3 of a second. Just absolutely blistering times with a small circuit. What will that mean for when the action gets underway here on this racetrack?
Well, if you look right now, Howard Weaver, he's gridding up. He's getting ready for that qualifying. He's about to come out on the track, but that was a smart move by Alex Bergeron, because if you reset your car on your first lap, then when you come out of the pits, it'll count it as your second lap. So that was a smart heads-up move by Alex Bergeron of turning that thing around, getting on for the lap. But if you look right here, we've got Howard Weaver, that number 17 machine, going on the track. He's going to go through 3 and 4, and that green flag is going to be waving. He's going to give it everything he has. He's going to pull into turn 1 and 2, going to use the bottom as fast as he can, gain the momentum, go to the outside on the back stretch as he comes into 3 and 4, hugging the bottom as fast as he can, wants to be sure and get out of that slick stuff, and he comes out of the start-finish line. He's going to pull a time of, that's going to be a 12.270, because he's going to have 1 lap left here, still coming into 3 and 4. This is his last chance to get up there in the qualifying spots, and it's going to be a P13 with a 12.076. So we hopped that lap up there pretty good, but he's going to be starting there in the back of the field. But we're going to have to really see if he can come up through the field and see what he can make out of tonight.
We'll definitely have to see. Fastest lap time in qualifying was an 11.784 for Timothy Smith. Cole Newhoffen ended up having the 2nd fastest time in the 11.8 club. But with that, it's time to grid up for the starting lineup for tonight. Let's start off with your front row for tonight's season finale for the American Dirt Series Sprint Cars, presented by Southern Indiana Lawn Care. Timothy Smith and a UWU Motorsports machine will start inside. Cole Newhoffen will start alongside him on the front row. In row number 2, it's going to be Jeffrey Patterson, the California driver, taking out on the starting grid next to Dylan Kilinowski. That is in row number 2. Row number 3, Kevin Loveys will try and spread some love in victory lane if he can have a good run. Anthony Lopresto starts off in P6. Alex Bergeron, your current points leader, looking to make sure he locks himself in the championship. Just has to make sure he gets clean. He's in 7th. Scott Bellum will start alongside him in P number 8. In row number 5 for tonight, it's Terry Renner, everyone's favorite alien, along with Jason Minette. That is row number 5. Then for row number 6, Paul Belfour, Trevor Royer, as Royer tries to do well from the dozen spot in that Jurassic Park machine. Howard Weaver, he'll try and move up from 13th spot with Ryan Martin in 14th spot on the starting grid. Near the back of the field, Jason Newgard will start with Max Stamble after he hit the wall with the right size of his tires in the qualifying. Rounding out the field will be Rocky Battenfield, as that will be your 17-car grid on what is a great facility here for Limaland. Pace truck already moving along off into pit road as we are immediately off and away. We're underway for the season finale here on RaceSpotTV. Timothy Smith having a decent start to this event. Cole Newhoffen trying to make the bottom side work underneath the slick. And it's off to a decent start, but a caution as it's in turns 3 and 4. Ryan Martin going around. Howard Weaver on his side and spinning. As 3 different drivers involved, as everyone's going to have to stop on the pace truck. Let's check out the replay here, Davis.
Yeah, as we're going to take a look at our race spot replay right here, as you see those machines right there, looks like just someone got up and jumped the cushion right there. You see the number 17, that's Howard Weaver. goes into the corner, and he just hits the guy in the middle. I believe that's Jason Minette, but I might be mistaken. No, I'm sorry, that's Ryan Martin in that number 24 machine.
Yeah, you've seen him run into the back of the driver in front of him, then he's stuck in the middle of the track. Everyone has to zoom on by him. We'll check this from above now to see the angle. Yeah, just a slide job attempt. Lost a lot of momentum from the driver in front of him. He ends up spinning on around, and now that ends up collecting him. That was Terry Rennert, where he almost ran into the back of there. They're already going to set up for double file. Of course, very small circuit with just a quarter of a mile. We're already off and away, already 3 wide, as we are already 3 wide, battling for the lead. Timothy Smith, he lost the lead. Cole Newhoffen will try and keep it. Tries to run the momentum on the bottom side. Smith scrapes his right side on the wall as Cole Newhoffen leads the lap. He's moved up to the lead. Timothy Smith in second. Kevin Loveys dives himself into third. Jeffrey Patterson trying to stay in the top 5. And Alex Bergeron, who started 7th, already in the 4th spot. Already a battle for the lead as Cole Newhoffen is trying to hang on with Timothy Smith, meanwhile, up in front, as Timothy Smith definitely struggling with that cushion. A couple different drivers, in fact, hitting the right sides on that progressive style banking on the cushion so far here.
Cole Newhoffen grabbed that lead from Timothy Smith in that number 38 machine. We're looking right here. We have Kevin Loveys. He got on top of the cushion and he spun around, but I don't believe that's what the caution came out for.
I'm not sure what the caution came out for here. Trevor Royer went around in the middle of the track. Let's check out the replay on your screen. You're seeing Royer right here. I believe this was around after the caution. Yeah, car got stopped in the middle of the track, and then Royer had nowhere to go, slammed into him. That was Kevin Loveys. So what happened to Loveys on this line? Let's try and explain this forward here, Davis. Yeah, in that case, I think he just ended up hitting the right side tires like we talked about with a little bit of that issue on the cushion. Lost a lot of momentum, tried to straighten it out, caution came out, then bam, Royer is right there, bams into him on the right side. Just look at this. Full 45 degrees, just about sideways, right into the path of Trevor Royer. Talk about Jurassic Park. As the green flag is back underway once again here at Limaland. Very quick event for tonight. 50 laps on the schedule, already at lap number 12 for your season finale for the American Dirt Series Sprint Card, presented by Southern Indiana Lawn Care. Cole Newhoffen off to a good start in this one, followed by Timothy Smith, Alex Bergeron third, Kevin Loveys in fourth, and rounding out the top 5 for the time being is Anthony Wilpresto, as he's going to zoom on by because Jeffrey Patterson bumped off that wall once again. As the battle heats up near the front, Bergeron trying to make his charge here.
And you see Timothy Smith, he just dumped the wall a little bit. That's going to give Alex Bergeron room to make a run. He's going to pull the slide job 1 and 2. He's going to pull it off, but Timothy Smith goes back to the inside and is fighting him again. See Alex Bergeron utilizing all the cushion he can. He's going to get more momentum. He's going to be able to clear that spot. And now he's going to have his eyes set on the number 8 of Cole Newhoffen. And Timothy Smith just turned around in 1 and 2 and took out multiple drivers.
Yeah, this was in the worst spot again. That was 3 and 4. A lot of trouble has formed around that point today. Let's check out the RaceSpotTV replay. You see him trying to keep position with Bergeron, then gets bumped from behind, and then multiple cars pinball him around. Luckily for Smith, he's still moving on the racetrack. Going to have a decent amount of damage, I'm guessing, from that. That's again, Kevin Loveys seeming to find trouble with that. This was in 1 and 2, in fact, where lots of lost momentum. Timothy Smith and Kevin Loveys just drives on through, zooms his way into 3rd spot. I don't know what else to really say with that, Davis.
Yeah, Kevin Loveys is really going to have to go out there and take a chill pill and really calm it down, because he's going to make a lot of drivers mad out here. I know he's already made some enemies here tonight with that being his 2nd one, but there's no other way to call that incident right there. He just flat out spun him. So he's probably going to hope Timothy Smith doesn't get back up there and able to return the favor. But we're about to go green flag here as that pace car has got him double fouled.
And the green flag, in fact, already up at the flag stand. We're back underway as Cole Newhoffen leads coming into 30 laps to go. But here comes Alex Bergeron with the slide job. He tries to make it work. Momentum doesn't stick though. That's Bergeron will fall back to second for the time being. He's going to have to rewind this once again. He'll stay on the cushion for the time being, waiting for a mistake from Cole Newhoffen as they zoom themselves into turns 1 and 2. Again, Bergeron slide job makes it work, but Cole Newhoffen has to go for the crossover back. Crossover back does not work. Bergeron takes the lead at the stripe as we are less than 30 laps to go in the season. Kevin Lovey's meanwhile, he's not going it down quite yet. He's wanting to chase down the win, but we got a caution right around the pit boxes. And that is that Jurassic Park machine once again, the number 90. As again, trouble finding itself for Trevor Royer. Let's look at this here once again. On the bottom, then momentum rides himself into the number 16. That number 16 ends up being Jeffrey Patterson. Royer has to stop to get himself back around. He's still in the top 10. Once again, let's look at this from above here, Davis.
You see right there, Trevor Royer in that number 90 machine. He comes up out of the turn and just gets into that racing groove on the backstretch and just ends up making contact with another driver. And that's going to put him at the end of the line and going to give him some damage. So unfortunate set of circumstances right there, but we're about to go green again. We got Cole Newhoffen in that P1 position, followed by Alex Bergeron, Kevin Lovey's, and Anthony Lepresto, and followed by the alien Terry Renner in 5th place. So I think we could have a really, if we can get a green flag run here, we're going to see some really good and close action races. They're under green flag conditions. Cole Newhoffen is taking the lead, gets a really good jump, and Alex Bergeron goes to the bottom. He's going to try to pull the slide job. Is he going to be able to clear up? No, he doesn't. He almost hits them and makes contact with them as they're coming out of 3 and 4.
Coming out of 3 and 4, Newhoffen, great run. He's going to try and dive it for the slide. And that time couldn't make it work. Alex Bergeron stays on that cushion. Newhoffen's going to try and go for the slide job to hold up Bergeron. But Bergeron just says, excuse me, pardon me, makes the move on by here for lap 29. Bergeron going to stay on the cushion. Newhoffen going to stay on the cushion now too as Kevin Lovey's tries to battle for second. He can't make it stick though, very hard to make that work from the bottom up to the racing groove, and that just about lost him third as Anthony Lepresto, who had the fastest practice time, now goes into a crossover battle.
Kevin Lovey isn't giving up as he pulls over and tries to pull the slide job and get on Anthony Lepresto, and they make contact going down the backstretch, and they're 3 wide going into 3 and 4.
3 wide, backs off to 2, back to 3 wide. Who is that on the all the way bottom? That was Max Stembro as he pinballs it. We got trouble right at the end of turn 2. Anthony Lepresto, he is definitely flipping on over. Caution flag out. That was the case of 3 wide being at the wrong place. Let's look at this. Anthony Lepresto on the bottom. That was Max Stembro bouncing to the 90 again. You see the track entrance there, and Lepresto just gets ran on over as he's bumped into that wall once again here, Davis. My goodness. Again, nowhere to go with that.
Yeah, this is a fast racetrack. When action comes at you, it comes at you quick and in a hurry. We've seen some really close, action-packed racing here tonight, and I'm looking forward to even more of it as we're going to have about, I'd say, we're going to have about 17, 16 laps to go here once we get that green flag. And I've seen a little bit of contact with Anthony Lepresto and DJ Kilinowski right there. Apparently some drivers weren't happy because of that wreck. So I might have to keep an eye on that. But we go back to the front here as we've got Alex Bergeron taking that lead from the number 8 of Cole Newhoffen. And that number 18 of Kevin Lovey's is sitting in second. And his green flag is out. You see Kevin Lovey's at 18 machine tries to get really low and tries to make something happen. He's not going to be able to do it as Alex Bergeron still has about a 2 or 3 car length lead behind him. But now the battle's on for second, and we have another caution out on the field.
It's going to be Scott Bellum at the back. Got bumped again. This is another moment of lost amount of momentum because the 16 of Jeffrey Patterson had nowhere to go with this. Let's take a look at this. Oh my goodness, Patterson actually was wall riding, which would explain that. Got his momentum back, then Scott Bellum got rear-ended with that. Let's look at what just happened with the 16 because this developed about a full backstretch earlier from what we thought.
Yeah, it did. As we're still taking a look at the RaceSpotTV replay right here, you're looking at Jeffrey Patterson in that number 10 machine. You see him take the green flag, and as they take the green flag, you see the number 16 get into the wall just a little, and that number 10, or I'm sorry, that was the number 7 machine, gets loose in the corner, and that number 16 rear ends him, and it causes the whole pack to check up, and it causes major damage for multiple drivers.
Yeah, that is another bad luck. The laps have been clicking so fast, we're coming to 11 laps to go. This time at the flag stand, green flag up in the air. Alex Bergeron is back out once again, leading them to the start and finish. Cole Newhoffen stays on the cushion. Terry Rennert, the alien, has finally moves on the third. My goodness. And this is still piling on up. Max Stembel. Somebody called him Mad Max for a moment, and now he's on his side. Mad Max not gonna be happy with that, as he has to take the tow, because that is, again, Timothy Smith getting into Kevin Lovey's. I gotta say this right now, Kevin Lovey's has seemed to be bounced into everybody but the pace car tonight.
Yeah, Kevin Lovey's going to have some people with having an earful in his ear after this race. But, yeah, that all started with Timothy Smith and that number 18 machine of Kevin Lovey's. They made contact, and unfortunately, another driver there, Max Stembel, was a victim of their circumstances. So tough to see here. But, hey, we've only been green flag for 14 minutes, and this race is almost over. So don't blink here, or we're going to have a checkered flag in our hand. But we've got Alex Bergeron sitting in the first position, Cole Newhoffen in second. Hey, look at it. Look who's sitting in that third position. That's the fan favorite, that number 02 of Terry Rennert. So I think he's got something here as we're green flag racing.
Green flags out, coming to lap 44 at the stripe as Bergeron tries to hang on. Everyone riding along the cushion. Point of no return is lap 46, as we'll see what happens from here on out. 6 to go. Cole Newhoffen trying to dive down to the bottom. Rennert has to hold up. Rennert gets bumped, goes sideways. Timothy Smith goes around like a bottle top. No caution yet. Jeffrey Patterson collides into him. Jason Newgard's around. Multiple drivers collecting each other. And now the caution flag is out.
Unfortunate right there. It all started with Terry Rennert and that number 02 machine. Looked like he was just driving a bit too hard into that corner, and then he just lost the momentum and just spun her around, taking out Tim Smith. And then after that, the drivers just kept piling in.
Kept piling in. The 17 there you see on your screen, yellow numbers. That is Howard Weaver, I believe, who came back out on the racetrack. So multiple drivers collected. The 22 on your screen, of course, Jason Newgard, also having nowhere to go with this. Ended up running to the back of Tim Smith. Then the 16 tries to cut on the right side. Then the 16 gets bumped into, and calamity quarter ensues. So wild situation here. And that means we're just about done with this race. Lap 48 as they pass by the start-finish line. As we're going to have a 2-lap shootout here, Davis, here for the season finale. Again, you said don't blink. You will miss a thing right now. And we are back underway. 2 laps to go for the season for the American Dirt Series Sprint Cuppers. Can Bergeron hang on? He gets an absolutely beautiful start. Cole Newhoffen in second spot. Trevor Royer in third, trying to move himself into second. White flag. No, caution flag.
Caution is out.
Caution flag for Terry Rennert before they hit the flag stand. So Alex Bergeron will secure the victory. Let's take a look at this with Rennert. He was in third before that last caution. This time,
you're not going to believe who touched him and spun him around. Yeah, that's right. It's the 18 of Kevin Lovey's. Really sad set of circumstances there for the 02 of Terry Rennert. Was having a great race, hitting a little contact earlier in the race, but sad situation. But hey, that's racing. It's bumping and running, and you got to take what you can get. But the winner is the 112 of Alex Bergeron, and that's going to give him the championship as well.
Yes, it is. That is your 2017-18 champion for this season, as Alex Bergeron for Victory Lane Racing. Gonna celebrate in style. Burnouts all the way through the pit boxes in the infield. That's gotta be one happy driver for sure. One of the top drivers in the service right now, trying to get on hot with his team right now. Congratulations for sure to him. He is now finished off with 5 victories for the American Dirt Series Sprint Cars presented by Southern Indiana Lawn Care. That is a story of dominance for sure. With that, let's look at your unofficial race results. Cole Newhoff ended up finishing second. He was back by less than a tenth of a second after the caution, of course. Trevor Royer in third. Kevin Lovies, he had a day to say the least. The Canadian finishing out fourth. Timothy Smith moves himself back up to fifth. Rocky Battenfield finished sixth. Jeffrey Patterson seventh. Terry Rennert recovered enough to move up to eighth for the Angry Dolphin Motorsports machine. Jason Newgard and Anthony Lopresto both finished a lap down in the top 10 for the final race here at Lima, USA. Scott Bellum, Howard Weaver also laps down. Paul Belfour 6 laps down. Jason Minette also 7 laps down. DJ Kilanowski with 9 laps down. Max Dembrell also did not finish though, with Ryan Martin also a DNF to the final 2 spots. With that, you blink, you miss a decent burnout. As the American Dirt Series Sprint Cars will be back with post-race coverage here on RaceSpotTV in just a few moments. That is one happy driver for sure. Tonight's season coverage was brought to you by Dirtco Media House, Southern Indiana Lawn Care, the Kings of Dirt, CMF Motors Electrics, Down Under Graphics, Showell Forestry, and B-Dirt 1934. We'll be back in just a moment.
Crazy controlled. They're missing each other by an inch, sliding each other. I mean, they know what they're doing, and it's poetry in motion.
There's a fine line between great focus and obsession, and you got to make sure that you're still in the right side of that line where it doesn't start inhibiting your performance when you get here.
You have to know where the edge is, and a lot of times we go over it.
Welcome back to Limaland Motorsports Park for the season finale post-race coverage. After Alex Bergeron came out on top of this one over Cole Newhoffen, as both of them led the laps for the majority of the race. Trevor Royer finished off in third. Kevin Lovies, Timothy Smith in the top 5. Battenfield, Patterson, Rennert, Newgard, Lopresto finished off your top 10 in what was a brisk pace of a final race for the season. But for Alex Bergeron, he joins us now in the RaceSpotTV booth. And this is your champion for this season. Alex, how does it feel to be a champion after dominating for much of the way this year?
It definitely feels good, man. I just, the track was awesome. I wish it was a little bit slicker, but, we won some races this year. We're runner-up in the series, and, I'm feeling great about it.
That's good. You finished off with your 5th victory of the season tonight. Talk us through how it is for someone like you to try and make sure you're consistent like that night in and night out throughout the year, to try and get yourself the championship and continuously contend in these kind of races.
Just to be smooth overall, just being patient, just to take the right moment, you make a move, or like tonight we started 7th, made our way through, and good moves there, good move there with Cole and my teammate there. It was awesome, just good racing overall, and like I said, the truck was awesome tonight, so it allows us to do that, and throughout the whole season, just to be patient, and like on every track, it's a lot of cars on the racetracks, you gotta place yourself in good position to win. Like Cole will find heat races and dashes and everything else. So overall it was a great season for us.
That is definitely a good thing to hear, especially with tonight. A lot of patience. The most patient of the drivers were the ones who were able to come up in front. Let's talk about the racing itself. As you said, it was good racing with that. When it came to you moving through the field with the amount of the quickness of the race, so to speak, how, again, you talked about the patience with that. How was it to try and make sure you have that patience with there being 50 laps for the season finale?
Yeah, on the start, you know, we kind of messed up our qualifying, and I kind of started back in the field 7 and just kind of ride the bottom there in the first couple of laps. You know, just get our place on the top side. You know, after a couple of laps, and yeah, we made our way through by running the bottom most of the race at the start, and then when I had the chance to move out, I went up and battled with Tim Smith there and Kevin Lovies and there at the end with Cole, and just I don't know what to say about it. It was just nice and clean.
Nice and clean up at the front for sure. But before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank for being a part of your championship season? Anyone you want to shout out as well while you're up here in the RaceSpotTV booth, Alex?
Yeah, first off, big thanks Team VLR, you know, all the guys over there for a great car tonight again, and you know, big shout out to you know, Flag Northfield to be on the car tonight, and for the rest of the season now, and for the rest of, you know, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but thanks for these guys, Flag Northfield, Onward, their collective, Meyer Inc., their car racing, ADS for putting it up the league. It's always fun to run with them, and you guys for broadcasting. It was awesome.
Thank you very much, Alex. It was great calling the races for you this season. Congratulations on the championship. It was definitely domination for you this season with your 5 victories out of 8. And that was Alex Bergeron here on the RaceSpotTV booth. And now your second place finisher, meanwhile, who also had a strong car tonight, was Cole Newhoff, and Davis Richards stands by with him. Davis?
Hey, Cole, this is Davis Richards up here in the RaceSpotTV booth. Man, seeing you running and gunning there all night long, trying to put the cushion on it, trying to go to the bottom, trying to do everything you can to get around Alex Bergeron. What did you have to get back around? What did you have to get back around him there in those closing laps?
He's way faster than me. I was just kind of waiting for him to mess up or something. I don't really think I had a chance to just simply pass him. He was really fast.
So give us a little bit of insight in that car tonight. Was the car feeling really loose, a little tight? Did you have a lot of problems keeping it on top of that cushion and not trying to go over it? Or how did it feel from the driver's standpoint in that cockpit tonight?
The car was good. It's just like the iRacing cushion, it like goes up, then it just drops off on the other side. So then I'd get a little on the other side, and then it'd shoot me down the track. It was weird, but then I fixed it and just kind of hung in there.
Well, that's always great to hear that you were able to make adjustments and fix that machine for those closing laps tonight. Man, we've been watching you run and gun all season long. You've had a fast car since the drop of the green flag at the first race of this season. Man, any final thoughts about the season in general and in the race in general?
Yeah, I wish I could have made the first couple of races, and I think I would have had a pretty good points finish, but I did pretty good the races I did run.
Well, 10-4 and copy that there, Cole. Hey, we'll look forward to seeing you on future RaceSpotTV broadcasts on YouTube. And we wish the best of luck for you next time. But before I let you go, you got anyone out there you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Sim Speed Shop, Team Friday, Dirt Division, and all my teammates at Team VLR with Alex. He built a really fast setup. I couldn't thank him enough.
Well, have a great one there, Cole. And I'm going to hand the mic off to Justin to get in the interview with Trevor Royer of the number 90 machine.
Yes, Trevor Royer joins us in the broadcast booth. He had that Jurassic Park machine and definitely had to have a ferocious bite for sure to get up to the top 3 spot tonight. Talk us through how things, in your opinion, went with the racing, because at times, no offense, it looked like you got bounced around like the pinball sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I started 12th, and one of the cautions, somebody spun out in front of me, and I slammed into him and had to go to the pits, and then worked my way back up. Had to go to the pits again, started in the back again and ended up working my way back up to third. So I'm happy with the top 3 finish.
Of course, as well, it takes a lot of skill to try and recover from all that mentally, as well as trying to make sure, of course, your car doesn't have damage with that. How was it for you, basically, to try and get yourself back up to that third spot after all of that? With any damage you might have built up and with any frustrations that might have built up, what was it for you to try and make sure you were able to move yourself up, if that makes sense?
Honestly, I was trying not to get anybody's way that was running for points, and the top was probably the fastest way around, but the bottom was still there, so there was plenty of room. Some of these guys don't want to give room, but there was plenty of room on the track. I was running the bottom and the top throughout the race, and I found myself to be a little bit faster up on the top, so when I actually was able to be up there, I preferred it, but yeah, it was pretty hectic out there.
Now, I want to ask you this, of course. This is from what my records show, of course. You were part of the race last week where you ended up finishing in 8th spot, of course, finishing in 3rd spot tonight. What are your plans for potentially for next season for the American Dirt Series for your number 90 machine?
Well, I started the season off and ran like the first 3 races, and I was in the top 5 in points, and I got a 3rd shift job when you guys were running Monday nights, so I couldn't make it, and I've had the past 2 Friday nights off, so I was able to make the race, but I'm not sure when ADS is running their series next season, what day of the week, but if I can make it, I'll be here.
You're definitely a talented driver. I almost forgot about that first part of the season. Thank you for that reminder, of course. Now, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank sponsorship-wise, anyone you want to shout out? Specifically, I'm also a part of the sponsors I'm seeing is the Kings of Dirt logo straight in the center of your screens.
Yes, sir. My team, Kings of Dirt, I thank you guys for putting the show on. RaceSpot does a really good job broadcasting. Always a lot of enthusiasm. I love that when my broadcasters, when they're broadcasting races, and the American Dirt Series for putting this on.
Thank you very much for joining us, Trevor. Hope to see you for next season for sure. Congratulations on the top 3 finish.
Thanks, Justin.
That was Trevor Royer coming up with the top 3 finish. Now I believe we have one last interview, I believe, with Rocky Battenfield, as he started off at the back of the field and in the end moved himself all the way to 6th. That's 17th to 6th spot for your Down Under Graphics Hard Charger Award for tonight. Davis Richards will be speaking to Rocky Battenfield in that 097.
So hey, Rocky, it's Davis Richards up here in the RaceSpotTV booth. Man, starting out there in the back of the pack in 17th with that VLR machine, you made your way all the way to 6th place, man. How did it look, and how were you able to go through that hornet's nest and land that position at the end of the race?
Yeah, David, I tell you what, we had a hot rod that I think we could have beat Alex and Colton, Colton up there, but we came from the back to the front, and probably 10 more laps, you're going to be interviewing me in the winner's circle. But yeah, I don't run a mirror, so I couldn't see them in front of me, but we were flying all night.
Yeah, man, we were watching you all night, too. I even said it at one point. I told Justin, I said, hey, look out for that 097 machine of Rocky, because he's coming, and he's coming in a hurry. And I think if we could have got it some green flag laps, he might have been right, but it would have been very interesting to see nonetheless. But were there any adjustments you were able to make of that machine? Were you able to pull the wing back, put it forward, or what else were you trying to do? Were you trying to change your line? Just walk us through those steps of getting through that hornet's nest in the middle of the race.
No, I was just driving it. I used the straight up baseline setup. I put 30 gallons of fuel in it. That's the only change I made. For some reason it had 3 gallons to start with, so I just put 30, set the wing to 0, and went. I knew the first 46, 47 laps I was just gonna have to dodge the wrecks and everything. So I was just running wherever they weren't, and 5 or 10 more laps, Alex, he was gonna be in trouble. But there are just so many cautions, and it was killing my momentum. But yeah, I just used the baseline and went, and it was fast. But most of it was probably my driving, but the setup, it really wasn't that bad. Most people, I don't know if they could have been able to get through there like that, but we just had it hooked up, and like I said, I wish we had 5 more laps. I would have probably won that.
Well, man, it sounds like it. It sounds like you really had a handle on that car, and you were able to get that thing going in the right direction. I might have to take some driving tips from you later on. But from what were you seeing out there, how was the field? Were they being aggressive, or were the other drivers kind of laying back? Just what were you seeing out there from a driver's standpoint?
Well, I could have probably started on the pole, but I wanted to start in the back just, to get the recognition of being the hard charger. But they were just losing it. Like, they were coming out of the turn 2. Track was super tacky. The easiest track to drive that I've ever been on. They were just getting sideways and about wrecking. And I just kind of was running down there by the tires, just watching them all wreck. And Howard Weaver, he tried to wreck me a few times, it seemed like, and a couple others. But I just kind of went straight through their car somehow and kept going. But it really was a hornet's nest. But even with all the damage that I had, it was still just, I'm sweating right now. Just I can't explain it. You saw the performance. So
one quick question. This is Rocky, right? Just to make sure, and not Howard Weaver, just to make sure of this, if you don't mind me asking.
Yes, Rocky Battenfield from Muskogee, Oklahoma. I'm 34 years old. And I have a wife.
Okay.
Well, Rocky, it was awesome hearing from you, but before we let you go there, you got anyone else you would like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank iRacing for the setup, the baseline setup. No changes, just change the fuel. RaceSpotTV, Canada, Bad Boy Mowers. There's just so many, man, but 17th to 6th, what more can you say?
Well, you heard it here first. That's got to be one of our most interesting hard charger award of the nights interviews coming at you with the 097 machine of Rocky Battenfield.
Well, that was definitely an interesting interview. I had to actually double check things with that. But long story short, of course, this is the season finale tonight. What are your final words before we head things off here on RaceSpotTV for this season for the American Dirt Series Sprint Cars?
Well, Justin, we've seen a lot of interesting strategies come into play from the drop of that green flag at race 1 of the season to now. We've had a lot of fun. It's been really great calling these last few races with you, Justin. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you to Hugo in the production booth and RaceSpotTV for giving me this opportunity as well to come out here and broadcast with you fans. I'd like to congratulate Alex Berger on that 112 machine. He really put on a clinic this whole entire season. He was definitely the man to beat, but I'm ready to broadcast another race with y'all, and I can't wait for what the future holds.
I can't wait either. It was definitely a good season for the sprint cars. Lots of competitive races, lots of good competition. Alex Bergeron, of course, coming away with the win tonight, his 5th of the season, to help secure himself with the championship. Domination from him. Cole Newhoffen, congratulations for the 2nd him as well. Trevor Royer, we'll see how he does. Of course, he participated in the first 3 races. Finished off with 5 total races competed in this season. Finished off in the top 3, Kevin Loveys, Timothy Smith, also with the top 5 with Rocky Battenfield. Definitely interesting interview for 6th spot. Jeffrey Patterson, Terry Renner, Jason Newgard, Anthony Lopresto rounded out your top 10. So definitely a lot of good names and a lot of good competition we've seen here for the American Dirt Series here for Limaland. And a lot of potential action for sure. Definitely a lot to think about for the American Dirt Series, that's for sure, with their sprint cars. Once again, sponsored by Southern Indiana Lawn Care, the official title sponsor of the series. Also sponsored, of course, by multiple different parts. These multiple different parts, of course, being crucial parts of the American Dirt Series. Southern Indiana Lawn Care, as mentioned, with Dirtco Media House, the Kings of Dirt, CMF Motors, Electrics, Down Under Graphics, Show Low Forestry, and B-Dirt 193. With that, it's time to say goodbye from the beautiful mud here of this quarter-mile circuit. I'm Justin Prince. Davis Richards has been with us for the season. Congratulations and thank you very much for being a part of these broadcasts. We couldn't do it without you or Hugo Ruiz, who had our camera work and your TV cameras throughout the entire season. Andres Warner was the designer for your overlays you've seen throughout the season. Development brought to you by Simon Grossman. Live timing and scoring for RaceSpotTV is brought to you by Nick Theismann. But with that, it's time to say goodbye and put a capper on what was an entertaining sprint car season for the American Dirt Series. For everyone else, I'm Justin Prince saying so long, everybody. Thank you very much for playing along in the mud with us, and have a wonderful off-season. We'll see you soon here on RaceSpotTV. Be sure to check out the calendar for the rest of the broadcast for the rest of the week. But with that, have a good night and enjoy your Easter weekend across the racing nations.